Welcome to World Action and Reaction News. Today's news headlines are: Drdo has developed an ejectable and floating black box for planes. The machine will eject from an aircraft when it sinks after an accident and will get activated after coming in contact with water. Developed as part of Make in India initiative, the product, aimed for use on planes and submarines, has received notice of allowance for patent in the US and Russia. The product can prevent situations like the AN-32 crash where, in spite of using deep-sea probes, authorities were not able to trace debris in the sea. The ejectable black box becomes crucial for an aircraft as majority of the air routes are over the high seas where currents carry away crash debris, making them difficult to find. The Vice Chief of the Army, Lieutenant General Sarath Chand, stated in a seminar a few days ago that Indian ordnance factories have not been able to keep pace with changing technologies as there is no competition whatsoever and it is an unsuccessful method of supporting our defense requirements. He went on to add that Pakistan probably has a better industrial base, as far as defense production is concerned, than our country. In fact, they export defense equipment abroad, definitely more than what we are doing. He was expressing his frustration with the functioning and quality of products of Indian ordnance factories. All who have dealt with our ordnance factories would more than agree with the Vice Chief. Ordnance factories in India function under the Ordnance Factories Board, OFB, located in Kolkata. The OFB operates under the Ministry of Defence, MOD. There are over 40 ordnance factories in India, 18 pre-independence and balance post-independence. In a sign of the Trump administration deepening its ties with India, the two countries are currently planning visits by at least two key members of the U.S. government to India in the next 3-4 months, besides one by the U.S. President's daughter Ivanka Trump. Expected soon in New Delhi are U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis and Energy Secretary Rick Perry. Trump's daughter Ivanka is to visit India in November for the Global Entrepreneurship Summit likely to be held in Hyderabad. Aimed at countering a perceived threat from China, India is seeking to acquire 7 aircraft with signals intelligence and communication jamming capabilities with a budget of about $570 million. The requirement is for aircraft to carry out a unique list of missions centered around a two-front threat from China and Pakistan, said Diljit Sai, a defense analyst and retired Indian Air Force Air Marshal. The U.S. Air Force wants to extend the maximum range of its Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile in response to growing threats in Eastern Europe and the Western Pacific. Lockheed Martin received a $37.7 million contract from the Air Force for continued development of a wing design for the Extended Range JAS, according to a company news release. The current design, the Agm-158A Jassm, has a range of roughly 540 nautical miles. Its predecessor, the Agm-158A Jassm, has a range of 200 nautical miles, according to the National Interest. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos and Microsoft founder Bill Gates were recently in the news for overtaking each other as the world's richest man. While Bezos fought hard for the position and a sudden surge in Amazon shares made him the world number one, Gates overtook him after a few hours, according to Forbes and Bloomberg ranking. Meanwhile, there is this man who might be worth more than both of them combined. A financier Bill Browder has said that the net worth of Putin is expected to be around $200 billion. The CEO of Hermitage Capital Management reportedly testified to a judiciary committee, and the full text of the testimony was obtained by The Atlantic. To give you a perspective, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos are together worth around $175 billion, according to Forbes data. China attaches great importance to the development of relations with the Russian aerospace forces and is ready to organize further bilateral exchanges and cooperation in various fields, including joint training, and cooperation in the field of missile defense and logistics, Ma Xiaotian said. He touted China and Russia as friendly immediate neighbors which play an important role in the world arena. In the current complex and volatile situation related to the structure of international relations, both countries have common interests and strategic needs, he pointed out. Praising the armed forces of Russia and China's close and long-term cooperation, May said that they exchange high-level visits, conduct joint exercises and international competitions as well as interact in various professional areas. Russia will always be India's strategic partner despite New Delhi's growing ties with countries like the US, France and Israel, as there are certain defense products and technology that no one else will give except Moscow, a top Russian official has said. Sergei Kemezov, the CEO of the Rostec State Corporation, said cooperation with India will certainly continue, regardless of whether India cooperates only with Russia or also with Israel, France, the US or other countries. We have our own niche, these countries have their own directions for cooperation. Therefore, this does not mean that if India will work with some other countries, cooperation with Russia will cease. No, Kemezov told a select group of reporters on the sidelines of Russia's premier air show MAX 2017 here. There are defense products and technology that no one else will give except Russia. Therefore, Russia has always been and will be a strategic partner of India, he asserted when asked about the prospects of Indo-Russia cooperation given India's growing defense collaboration with other countries.
Thanks for watching. I hope you like this news. Please share your views in comment box. Please like and share this video. Press subscribe button and bell for auto update to you regarding my channel World Action and Reaction News. Warn.